which represents 7,000 classified staff at UW's Academic Research Department.
We go into bargaining next month, so we see what's happening. We're here for let's get these guys. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Negotiation.
现在上一个直播，那个自拍杆。
Assistant Professor, UW Astronomy Department. And a proud member of Faculty Forward, SEIU 925. How y'all doing out there? You tired yet? Did you guys know that we had a faculty union? A lot of the faculty appear not to either. So I just want to say I'm incredibly proud of all who are working on everyone out here. You are
个警察吧，他一般那个游戏的时候，他都有警察，就是会在上面在上面说话。对对对，那个
I know it's always pretty hard to be in graduate school and doing incredible work as researchers and as teachers. But I want the challenge to be learning something amazing, having a date with a colleague, or learning a new theory. I don't want you to be struggling to pay your rent, to pay for child care, or for health care, or for food. We have an opportunity at the University of Washington to model for our state and for our country what equity and success looks for. This is what we can do here, and we are standing with you until you get it. I will see you on the line. Let's give a shout out to Laurie Norris. You know Laurie Norris. Let's give a shout out to the people on strike in Tacoma. And the ACs that were on strike in Basel.
这飞机就在我们头顶上。对。
Another international student, Oliver Keys. Will you please?
Reality of my existence, which is that there was a 43% chance that I would try and kill myself and a 20% chance that I would succeed. So I came out, and my home covers almost none of the medical care I need to stay alive. They only provide trans-inclusive medicine because, in disagreement with literally every expert on trans healthcare, they classify pretty much all of the recommended and required procedures as cosmetic, and thus not And so in the absence of support from my employer, I have done everything I can to make this sort of work for me. I threw my life savings, every penny I had, into 1/10 of what I needed. I work 3 jobs, and with all of that, I still don't have a plan from how I get from here to where I need to be. And so I am tired, and I am out of ideas about what else to do, and I have no intention of why. As far as I can tell, the University of Washington is trying to kill me. And so I listen to the bargaining committee's proposals for UW to fully cover trans healthcare for their students, as you heard earlier, last night the administration moved. They said they'd expand coverage to include some, not all, but some of our asks. Stop cheering. Apparently some of you are, that's a win, right? Like, the administration has admitted their mistakes. They've realized that they're screwing up. And they're definitely going to tell you it's a win, I guarantee you. I guarantee you that someone in the crowd of administrators over there or up in this building here is currently being paid 4 times your stipend to write a press release about how this demonstrates UW's commitment to inclusion. This is going to be posted to the website with Anna Mari's name on it. But the thing is, they lie. We know this. They don't care. They aren't inclusive. If they care, why did it take 4 months of continuous negotiations and a strike threat before they moved an inch? If they care, why did a senior figure in the administration sit in front of the bargaining committee and say that the reason they wouldn't provide the healthcare trans students need to not die is because society isn't there yet? If they care, how is it that when they ran the numbers and found that the total cost to cover everyone was less than $90,000 a year, less than 10% of the president's compensation? Their response wasn't to include it in the package then. Oh no, their response was to send the chief strategy officer with a message from the president that the president personally, explicitly had looked at a proposal which excluded trans healthcare and said that she was comfortable with it and that she wasn't going to give us anything else. This isn't because they're caring. This is because we're winning. We have them running scared. They're terrified that if they don't provide at least some of our demands, they'll ruin the university's reputation and the president's reputation. They're scared because they didn't think we'd turn out like this. They didn't think that we'd care like this. They didn't think that we would be here today, all of us. And they think that if they give us some health care, it'll split us up and let them carve off childcare and raises and sexual harassment protections by threatening to take healthcare off the table every time we ask for something more. In other words, their only interest in this, their only reason for this mediocrity of an offer is that now, instead of seeing trans people as disposable, they see us as useful and disposable. So to the University of Washington generally, and the administration in particular, I have a very simple message. Fuck you, and fuck your offer. I do not compromise over my care. I do not roll over and beg for half measures that replace quarter measures. I do not negotiate with someone who treats my existence as a bargaining chip. My life is something that can be traded back and forth in order to let UW pay us and support us as little as they can get away with. We're not stupid, and for all the administration says that this is a world-class institution, they seem to think we're stupid, because they seem to think that we don't see how desperate they are to protect this place's reputation, how desperate they are to split us apart. And we will not let them. I will not trade my needs for others. I will not throw students with children, students with mental illness, students who are harassed and assaulted under the bus for my needs, because it is their refusal to throw me under the bus that got us this far. That solidarity is where our power to demand anything, including trans healthcare, lies. So don't cheer for this offer. Don't support this offer. Don't accept this offer. Don't let them immiserate our colleagues for the privilege of their table scraps. I will not accept a healthcare proposal that doesn't even cover all the stuff that, again, we asked for because we need all of it to live. The university is scared, and we can solution. Full trans coverage, full mental health coverage, full childcare, full harassment protections, full wage increases, no compromise and no surrender. And if they won't give us these things that we need to live, not just me, but assault survivors, student parents, students of color, then we will make these rallies and the occupations and the picket lines the opening salvo in a conflict that we will accelerate and we will win. Because we have fought too hard and for too long to be here at this place, to give up with our work incomplete. Give us what we need to live.
All right, and now the only person...
They are in the shadows of history, but they light your present. They are with you. The fight goes on. They won. You will win. Oh my goodness, my lifetime in this work has shown me, most particularly, that transgender and gender non-conforming people have been part of the whole process. I've had a life that's taken me from the streets of Seattle to the White House. And I know you can do this thing because you'll never quit. We are fully and wholly present, and I'll tell you this, if a system ever tells you that the world is not ready for you, the truth is that the world may need exactly what you have. I'll tell you what, transgender and gender non-conforming policies and services are common. I've been part of every movement we've made in these 40 years, and I know it. And I can tell you right now that the unions, that the Fortune 500 companies, even them, and so many of our healthcare services right here in this town, the big hospitals that would never look at us in the past, they're all creating trans healthcare right now. And I tell you, if any large institution holds back in offering anything but full health care for trans people, full service, then that institution marks itself as retrograde and not part of progress and research. It is not just time, it is almost too late. Listen, are the walls around this campus so high that the voices of progress can't be heard? I don't believe it. You're gonna make them hear it. Let your heart speak for justice, your brain dream for the future, and your hands build a better world. Oh, my friends, as Robert Greene Ingersoll said, the time to be happy is now. Thank you.
All right, we only have a few more speakers. We're going to make it quick. And let me tell you something. We have something for you at the very end, so you have to stay tuned. It's even better than pizza. It is our very own Councilwoman Kshama Sawant. She's the only thing better than pizza. Brian Weitzner from the newly minted Postdocs Union.
Oh, I'm Brian. I'm one of 1,100 postdocs here at the UW who formed a union Friday. More than 2/3 of every postdoc on this campus voted. We voted 590 to 70 to form a union. We have had thousands of conversations with postdocs. We are ready to be picking up where you guys are right now. We are learning from you how to get a fair contract that works for all of us right now. Thank you. Thank you. The biggest lesson that we've learned is that we work together, we can change our university. So I want you guys to all say it with me together. Whose university? Our university! Thank you so much.
And we will see all of you back here in a year when they are negotiating their contract. Yasi Nagahiri from Coplit.
Hi, so I'm going to keep it really short and say I'm here today striking because I care about my students. And which seems like a contradictory thing. Why not hold classes if you care about your students? But I'm here to show you that TAs are basically those boundless citizens. And if you don't actually care about those boundless citizens, they actually give us fair wages, better healthcare, mental included, trans-inclusive healthcare, and also childcare. So, thank you.
Now I want to introduce the woman without whom I would not be here. I mean that literally because she gave me a wake-up call at 3 a.m. Paige Seacrest from Poli-Sci! Yo, UAW 4121, what's good? Good to see y'all out here today. It is incredible to be out here seeing so many supporters, so many ASEs out here demanding a fair contract. I'm also going to keep it pretty short. I'm on strike today because I go to a university that claims to care about race, claims to care about equity, claims to care about the queer community, claims to care about Me Too, claims to want to be a participant in this amazing and incredible cultural moment where survivors and victims of sexual assault are speaking up and holding their attackers accountable. So the University of Washington wants to be a part of that moment, and yet doesn't seem to be on board with the fact that unions are how that change happens. I got news for you, President Cauce. Sexual harassment is a labor issue. And when I say that unions are how we fix these issues, I don't just mean our own local. I mean all of the folks who stood in solidarity with us to make this strike possible. We heard today that TAs and RAs are the reason why this university is such a cutting-edge, incredible public research institution, but the fact is that this place falls apart without janitors, without laundry workers, without service employees. And we know that, and we're going to show up for them too. But mainly I'm here because this university is an incredible place in two different ways. One, it produces incredible, important, cutting-edge research. It produces knowledge. And two, it's a public university, which means that it needs to be accessible. We can't make it so that the only people who can pursue PhDs and actually be involved in the work of producing knowledge are independently wealthy. We can't have that. And when you give nonsense, BS pay increases followed by absolutely sort of no discretion or no constraints on the kinds of fees that you can impose, that's what you're doing. You're making it so that only the landed gentry can become doctorates in this country. I'm here because I'm not going to stand for it, and it's great to know that you won't either. Good to see you, UAW. Let's keep fighting. Because when we fight, we win. All right, because we recognize labor, I just want to say a few shout-outs real quick. Not just to Pramila Jayapal, our congressman, but her staff that made it possible for you guys to know about her. Representative Zach Hudgens, and his staff, Representative Nicole Macri and her staff, Shoreline City Council, Chris Roberts, also a former 4121 member who's running for state legislature, remember that? And Representative Nicole Frame. All right, now the moment we've all been waiting for, without any further ado, our councilwoman who has been a supporter of us from day one, Shama Sahant!
So All right. As I have been instructed, dear siblings, how incredible it is for me to look into the eyes of this collective struggle. Your strike action is part of what seems to be happening in the air. It's a tumultuous period of collective struggle that has been heralded by the public sector workers, the teachers in West Virginia, and followed by the educators in Oklahoma and Arizona. And now we are here with your inspiring action in Washington State. This is a struggle against the brutal austerity of decades and the draconian cuts to education and social services. And make no mistake, your strike is part of the larger fight against the billionaire class. As a rank and file member of the American Federation of Teachers, Local 1789, as a member of Socialist Alternative, and as an elected representative of Seattle's working class, I am so proud to be walking the picket line with you today. We strongly support you in your demands to address the lack of a living wage, and we call out the particular outrage that UW makes its academic employees pay fees, because that is nothing but a pay cut. We support you in your demands to address the pervasive discrimination and harassment throughout the UW's campuses, which especially affects international students, people of color, women, and members of the LGBTQ community. We join you in your demand for trans-inclusive healthcare. And what an amazing period we live in. Today, I get to have the honor of walking with you on your picket line. Yesterday, our citywide struggle won the historic victory of a nearly $50 million a year tax on Amazon. On Amazon. This movement was led by members of the AFL-CIO like yourselves, by housing and homeless activists, by socialists from the Socialist Alternative and the Democratic Socialists of America. And today,